Oh, well, hello everybody, and we are back again to talk about yet another jam band. This time it is Dogs in a Pile, and I feel like I have a little bit less to say about Dogs in a Pile than I did Goose earlier. Not that they are, less talented or I feel like anything less of them, and right off the top, I should say, like, I don't think they suck. I see people throw that around real quickly, can be pretty dismissive of a lot of these bands. And there are some jam bands that I've heard that have been recommended that, I don't want to name any names here and hurt anybody's feelings, but some of them really do suck. Well, I wouldn't say that about Dogs in a Pile. If I could, like, really, if I guess my hardest knock on them would be, it seems like a group of talented musicians that have listened to all sorts of music, good and bad, throughout their lives, like many of us. They've gotten together, they've formed a band, they've written some original songs, but it's like all based on everything that they've heard. It doesn't seem like there's anything, and I haven't heard a ton, I should also say. I listened to maybe like an hour's worth, skipped around, listened to a good chunk of one show. I think that was from Phoenix, January 9th of this year. And I did like You Didn't Hear It From Me and Applesauce were two of my favorites from that show. A song called G Song is probably the closest to what I'm saying here. Just something like, whether if it's Fish or Billy Strings or King Gizzard, Primus, Frank Zappa, these are just like some of my favorite bands. There's just something in there where you're like, whoa, I have never heard anything like this before. And I don't mean every single song in their catalog. And they may even have some average to, just very standard albums in general, those bands that I mentioned. But for the most part, there's a lot of stuff there that just blows you away. You're like, I've never heard anything like this before. And while it may have been inspired by others, while like there's parts of Fish that were inspired by Frank Zappa, and I'm sure Primus the same way. And then a band like King Gizzard, they're inspired by so many different bands. Billy Strings, again, inspired by so many, including Fish and the Grateful Dead. But then they not only have their own sound, they do something just totally new that you feel like you haven't heard before. Like songs like Foam or My Friend, Gaiuti, You Enjoy Myself, Slave to the Traffic Light. Like, just there's not a lot of stuff out there that I had heard before that was anything like any of that. And that's one thing that I felt like was lacking here with Dogs in a Pile, and they may get there. Most bands, that seems like early on. That's like they spent their whole lives up to working up to that first album or so, and that's the most creative they're gonna get, really, for a lot of bands. Not every band, but they don't seem to really be. I don't know. And then the jamming, it's like they did have it. I was not surprised when I saw. I did not know when I was saying, "Oh wow, I definitely hear some Grateful Dead in there." I did not know that they covered Grateful Dead songs. I listened to a little bit of oh man, which Under the Stars. So yeah, you like those vocals? That's another thing. And man, maybe I just do not like rock vocals or something, because yet again this was worse than Goose. Like, this was borderline bad. The Goose vocals, I wouldn't say were bad. It's just I didn't really care for them. It's not really what I'm into. I either want just like a strong, powerful, like maybe like a Robert Plant, or even maybe a like an Eerie, Lane Staley, something like that as a rock vocalist, or just somebody's just super charismatic like Ambrose from King Gizzard, or just completely be silly like John Fishman and be like, I can't sing, so what the hell? I don't know what. Look, this guy seems young. Maybe he'll grow into his voice. Hopefully we don't end up with a Broadway Dogs similar to similar to Broadway Trey that we all love so much. All right, the Harry Hood cover, of course, I had to check that out with Mahali. That was pretty tight. And then yeah, I guess that's about all I had to say. It's like, it's a very limited listening, I know, but I feel like I got a feel for it. I got a feel for it, really. And this isn't my first time listening to them. The drummer might be the best guy in the band, really. Maybe, what's his name? Maybe I should name the band after him. Dogman. What is his name? What if his name's Dogman? I didn't even know that. I don't know any guy in the band's name. Seemed like the one guitar player slightly better than the other. The drummer. Why does the drummer wear the headphones, though? What's up with that? What's up with that? All right. Well, like I said I wasn't going to talk as long about Dogs in a Pile as I did Goose, but I'd probably spend a minute talking about some of my other favorite bands. And for the record, I would say those are my 5 favorite bands: Fish, King Gizzard, Billy Strings, Frank Zappa, Primus / anything Les Claypool. And then currently playing, touring right now, Fish, King Gizzard, Billy Strings, Les Claypool, Kitchen Dwellers. I did have a lot of fun at that Guided by Voices show, though. I only saw them one time. They were a lot of fun. Did I hear Ween's getting back together? I'm probably not going to go see Goose, though, anytime soon. Somebody else recommend. Who else? Somebody recommend. Oh, somebody said I should go see String Cheese at the Rose. I mean, I'm really contemplating if I should go see Kitchen Dwellers there, just because they're the opener for 2 other acts that are a headline ahead of them on the marquee. And that guy was right. It was, in fact, Huba Heights. Is it Huba Heights? It's Huba Heights. It's Huba Heights. Huba Heights. It's Huba Heights. Boom. Nobody outside of Dayton and, quite frankly, my 8th grade class probably understands that. It's Huba Heights. Pretty cool if Brandon Collins is watching. Boom. We're out of here. Dogs in a Pile. They're pretty good, but again, like Goose, I'm probably not going to get into them. I just don't have time for yet another jam band, good or not. I mean, they didn't really knock me off out of my socks, off my feet. They didn't really knock my socks over my head with feet still in them, you know? You ever seen a man eat his own brains? Vernon, Florida. Boom, we're out of here. Love you guys. Might as well go to 7 minutes. Let's turn this into a mini documentary on the band Dogs in a Pile. That's it. Dogs in a Pile. YouTube. Love you.